Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father. Lovers all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be my solemn vow. That is one of the songs that we sing when we go to Unity Church. We grew up going to Unity Church in Manhattan, where Eric Butterworth was the minister. Now, what I loved about going to this church is it was so peaceful. Even the homeless were invited to go to church. The homeless was usually on the bottom row, but no one made them feel uncomfortable when they came into this church to serve God. Afterwards, they had all these free pamphlets, different prayers that you could take and put in your purse or your pocket or your wallet to guide you throughout the week. And the message was wonderful. And also, during the latter portion of the service, there was meditation. These guidelines that we were taught, I walk with and I live with on this very day. And I really loved going to this church because not only was I able to get the food, the spiritual food that I needed to go throughout my week with, I was able to eat afterwards as well. But even outside of the eating, because the food that we received just going into the service and listening to Eric Butterworth's wife through meditation, it was just a peaceful experience in the environment. This is where my first opera was also saw as well. I experienced my first opera in Manhattan as well, in the same environment. And some people say, were you privileged? No, I was not. The church was free. All you had to do is, if you had a penny, just put the penny in the offering. The whole point was that we were learning to love and to worship with other people. We were learning how to just enjoy fellowship with each other. No one judging anyone else. Some people came with tattered clothing. I had my Chinese slippers on during our earlier portions of going there, but it didn't matter. No matter what you wore, people were there because they honestly and sincerely wanted to serve God. Unity is in every state. They're in New York, they're in Florida, they're in Teaneck, New Jersey. I even visited a service there. Arizona, Orlando, whichever part of the country, there is a Unity Church. And I believe that the services are similar. I've gone to Miami services as well. You are welcome there. People treat you well. If I'm going to go to church, I would go to a Unity Church because it's non-denominational and you're going to get some food for thought. You're going to get the scriptures, that you need to guide you through the week if that's what you need. But the food, we get nourished by more than just words in a book. We get nourished by people actually interacting with others and not having to get your heart broken by going to an environment. Now, I'm not going to say I go to church all the time, and I know someone called me a nun a couple of days ago, and that's fine too. I don't consider myself a nun just because I'm not being practicing different acts and emotions. But I will say that I want to make sure that my experiences are more sincere during this time. That's the reason why I make the choices that I make. Now, I make mistakes just like anyone else, even in my diet, sometimes I will not eat, all my vegetables. I'll sometimes eat a sandwich instead. But regardless of what my choices are, I am making a better choice because whatever I eat, I make sure that I eat a fruit or I make sure I have my vegetables later on to make up for the shortage of what the cheating that I did in my diet earlier. We all are trying to balance our lives as best we can. Are we going to make mistakes? Sure. But we go to God in prayer because we're asking for God's guidance at the end of the day. We, all of us, make choices that sometimes we feel, I should have not gone with the soda, I should have gone with the water. This is our life's journey. With this journey, this is what we do. We sometimes do things differently. You know, I have not been on this channel as much as I've been on the opposite channel. And even made a mistake and mention this channel on the other platform the other day. We are not perfect. But while we are trying to take this journey peacefully, let us honor other individuals as well. Let us still pray for other people, regardless of what it is that they do. And I can say that even with everything that's going on. People will go ahead and they will throw dirt on your name every time. Those people are hurt, and that's why they are reacting the way that they're reacting. Regardless of what the next person is doing, you give it to God. You put that person's name in God's presence, because God is the only person who's going to be able to figure out and take care of the situation at hand. People are hurting, and we are all healing. Believe it or not, even when you are making the wrong choice, God is still teaching you a lesson in healing. So let us remember this during this time. Let us remember, that it is important that we go to God in prayer and know that God has the ultimate answer. It is lovely when you can love other people throughout the experience that you're having with them. But it is more lovely when you can say, God, I am going to take this to you in prayer and know that you have all the answers. And I'm going to try to make the best choice possible so that I do not act against another individual. And I go to you in love. It is so lovely being you. And although some of these topics are very heavy, we want to thank God for all that he does for us. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope that your week goes well. May God bless you. Amen.